It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Baseman, get it on. Ron from Florida. Hey, I got a survey for you and your crew. You can only choose one. You can either fuck a 10, but only once a month, or fuck a 7.5, only once a week, or you can fuck a 5 every day. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Eric Schwartz, how say you?
10 once a month, but also learn how to masturbate standing up.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yep. Then you're fine.
I go the 10 once a month. I look at it as a, the reward for hard-earned month. I'll go with the 10 once a month.
It's intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
With your
But the
sexuality.
the 7.5 is once a week because that's not,
Nah, 10 once a month.
I can get through once a week.
We're all going 10 once a month?
10 once a month.
All right.
Yeah.
Unanimity. Also, from your act, as you were talking about being Jewish and Hispanic, at least.
My stepfather.
There's a stepfather.
Yeah.
Was you may have inadvertently ripped off my grandfather, Laszlo Gorog.
What?
Yeah.
Was that all? That was names, or was that another language?
He was a Jew.
Okay.
And he was a writer. And way back in the day, he lost his vision. Not that he couldn't see, but he couldn't drive a car and he couldn't work as a writer anymore. This is early 80s, late 70s or whatever. He was a Hungarian Jew. And Hungarians are wordsmiths. They love talk and turning phrases and making up stories. So there was a lot of Hungarian writers in Hollywood. That's how there was a network of them. When he came from Hungary, they took him in, and next thing you know, he's writing for TV shows. And he used to sit around and he would try to come up with Jewish, Spanish words.
Oh, really?
And like a food.
Okay.
He came up with an enchilatka.
Enchilatka, yeah.
And
I need it.
he was sitting around and he would try to amuse me, with a Jewish version of any kind of Mexican food or something like that.
Yeah,
the only one I
do that.
remember is the enchilatka. But I mean, that was literally, you were 5 when he was sitting around coming up with the enchilatka. But I saw you doing some of that, not
Yeah.
the enchilatka, but in your act.
I say shalom, cabron.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my whole catchphrase. Shalom,
Right.
cabron.
That's what Laszlo Gorog was doing in North
Laszlo.
Hollywood in 1978.
Well, I've listened to you over the years, and so maybe I kind of channeled Laszlo into my that where Shalom Cabron came from. Well, I'm Jewish and my stepfather's Mexican, and I once got a role playing in this independent film. I played a Jewish guy who wanted to be Mexican, and I improvised the line in that movie.
Right.
And I said, he goes, "Oh, you're Jew. Oh, you're Jewish." This is a cop interviewing me. He goes, "You're Jewish. Oh, I thought you were Mexican." I go, "Yeah, I'm both. Shalom, cabron."
That's funny.
That's how it came out.
Yeah, it's funny. I could see him sitting there in his den on his chair watching, daytime TV going, "I got another one."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I was mildly amused, but I was I could see him trying to pass the time and work his brain out with this.
Yeah.
Enchilatka's the only one I remember.
The bar mitzvah quinceañera, the albondigas, the matzo ball albondigas soup.
Right.
There's latkes and enchiladas, but I have actually heard of people making enchiladas with matzah meal instead of and they have in Mexican culture they use masa, we use matzah, so it's you can make matzah with masa. There's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of Jewish people in Mexico, especially Tijuana and Mexico City.
Really?
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wrote it down because it made me think of old Grandpa Laszlo.
Actually, I know Eric's not vegan because he posted a video recently of him eating crickets.
Yeah,
right?
I did. I ate a
Did you like
cricket.
them?
It's not something that I go, you know what I have a hankering for? Is cricket. We should go out for cricket. I ate it, but it's not like...
You wouldn't, yeah. You'd be okay if you never had it again.
Yeah. It's like one of those things that just because how I grew up, I guess if you grow up eating insects, you'd be like, oh, that reminds me of my childhood. I really like it. You develop a taste for it. But nah, it's like you eat it and you go, oh, it wasn't that bad. And it tastes like kind of like soggy popcorn. Yeah.
To me, just to get him to shut up is good enough reason.
It was already dead. It was already dead.
Oh, well, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Smells like a new
No big
source
deal.
of protein,
I thought you
right?
hunted one down like a gecko.
I'm not a hunter.
Can we establish this in the sound department?
Okay.
Tell me if you think I think we're at this phase in our society. I am in Malibu half the time, and I'm right above PCH. And Pacific Coast Highway has a fire. There's a fire department down about 3-4 blocks from where I live, and there's always some shit going down on PCH. There's a motorcycle accident, pedestrians getting hurt. There's always something.
Yeah.
And these guys are firing up their sirens, and they're always just trucking down PCH. And it's loud as shit in my bedroom.
Okay.
And the other day, they fired it up at 4 a.m.
Damn.
Now, there's nothing on PCH on a weeknight at 4 a.m. But these guys hit the rollers and they hit the siren. But there's no other cars around. Now, practically, first things first, nobody drives around with their windows down anymore. The windows are always up.
Right.
And cars are insulated. Like, they're sound deadened now. Modern cars are quiet inside. And everyone has the 18 speaker surround sound, Bose, whatever, with the earbud in. So I don't even know if we're getting the siren through the insulated car. But one thing cars have improved on is the sound insulation. Very quiet inside a modern car. And the other thing they've improved on is mirrors. Mirrors. You're picking up everything. I mean, back in the day, it was just a little chrome mirror like the size of a compact, for a woman's purse, like it's hanging off the side of the car. It was always facing the wrong direction. Yeah. We got big mirrors now. And you can see everything.
With cameras.
And it's nighttime. It's pitch black outside. Can we just hit the rollers on the siren, but no siren, just the actual roller? Should we be firing up the siren at 4 a.m.? You fly out of Burbank. If you fly out of Burbank, I always see a sign that says fly quiet. I don't know what it means. I always stop talking when I see it. But if you look out the window, Burbank Airport, there's signs for the pilots. I guess it says fly quiet between like 7. I don't know what it means. Like, don't throw revs or pop a wheelie or something. I don't know.
Down the sound system. Like,
I don't.
Yeah, we need a sound curfew for sirens.
I don't know what fly silent means, but it's there. So evidently, noise is an issue in our society. It's called noise pollution.
it's stealth.
4
That's what it
a.m.
is, Stealth.
Yeah.
Stealth back.
4 a.m. I just pop up and I'm like, huh? And I look out the window. There's nothing. There's not a car on the highway, but there is the fire truck, and that guy's whistling down with the sirens blaring. Could we have a conversation?
Yeah, I think firefighters. You, as a person who lives in a house, I agree with you. But firefighters might be like, well, just build your house out of car material.
I would be the worst fireman ever, because when they reach for the siren, I'd be like, Bob, really? There's nobody here. The fucking highway's empty. All right, here's my rule. Sirens only while the sun is out. Once the sun goes down, you get more bang out of the lights.
The visual?
The visual. Once it's dark, the visuals pop. The visual doesn't pop when the sun's up.
Yeah.
So sirens at day and the rollers or the lights at night. And it will be a much better society.
I'm with you. At night, I notice visually the sirens more than I do because I listen to music.
Well,
in my car.
we're calling them the sirens, but it's really, we're lumping the two into each.
Yeah.
You don't notice the sirens visually.
No, I meant like the cars, like when they have the sirens on, like the lights flash.
I know, but we keep saying siren is what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to separate the rollers from the sirens.
Excuse me. Okay.
Right.
The lights are the sound. Yeah.
I don't think they're connected, by the way. I think you can turn the rollers on without firing up.
I've seen that happen.
Fucking 4 a.m., dude. There's nobody on PCH. I don't know where you're going, but do it with the rollers on, not the siren. That's all.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
agree.
All right. We're
Curfew, sound curfew, 10 p.m.
That's right. Fly quiet.
Yeah, fly
Drive quiet.
Yeah.
They should have or they can, like, if there's like a high beam kind of roller too, like it's a little more amplified visually?
Once it's dark and you have this red light that's swirling around on top of your vehicle, people get it.
Okay.
People coming the other direction see that in the distance.
The only problem would be blind drivers.
Yeah.
How are they going to know?
But what about I don't know.
Yeah,
wait.
the blind drivers.
All right, no
We don't-
sirens, rollers, but no sirens once the sun goes down. That's all.
Okay.
I agree. I
There we
agree.
go.
I'm on board. All right. You're talking about reclining in the airline seat, and it's much harder to masturbate from there. But there's this viral video that was going around of this woman yelling at the passenger behind her, and from the sound of it, it looks like the passenger behind her was upset that she was reclining her seat. So everyone was getting up to get off the plane, she was defending herself. So this video went viral. It was all over the internet. So let's watch it real quick.
The whole trip, she pushed my seat. No, you seen it. No, she didn't. She put no. I'm allowed to put my seat back. I'm allowed to put my seat back. I'm allowed to put my seat back.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's very upset.
Listen, everyone, you're getting from LA to Phoenix for $81. Just shut the fuck up. Settlers people died.
Yeah, that's true.
The
That's
Donner
true.
Party. I'd love to show the Donner Party all the footage of people arguing on airplanes. You can get literally from LA to Chicago for like $150. Just shut up.
Yeah, that's
it's a
true.
miracle. Not
Okay.
quiet.
So it's not even worth the argument.
No, I mean, okay, couple things. First off, you want
You
to
walk back at Caesar's Palace to talk to that lady.
because I have a little something called intestinal fortitude, dignity, and pride, and
True.
I believe in this country. And I did it for her.
It was really for her, yeah.
Okay,
Selfless.
Mike and I do this all the time. If there's no one in the middle seat, and they want you to raise your seat, when you're landing or whatever, or taking off, you recline your seat. Have your buddy who's on the outside aisle recline his seat. You recline your seat on the window, and then take the middle seat and recline it
that.
with
Then
you.
they'll never know.
The differential's what people notice. They notice the difference.
Sure.
They don't know the angle. They notice the difference. So just
Life
put
hack.
the
Light
seats
hack.
around
Yeah.
you and recline them. And by the way, they recline an inch and 7/8. So it's not like anyone can visually really pick it up.
Only you would know that exact measurement.
I'm throwing
right?
a tape on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now, as I've always said, the thing about these airline seats, they're so worn out now and they're so thin now that if you're fat, every seat's a recliner. Because all you have to do is exhale and lean back, your fat ass back, and you will flex that shit 3 inches. Fat guys can flex a seat, especially when the action is kind of bad on them, like they get a little wobbly because they've been used so many times. Big bucket head dude, just lean back and it'll just go.
Yeah.
You'll
Wow.
flex it back.
Wow.
Yeah, you vegans can't do that.
I can't do that. Sometimes I have trouble getting it back.
You don't have any hair to help with the weight up
No.
top.
No.
You're
I am-
vegan. You got no flex in your seat.
I should pay less.
Fat
You know what I
guys
mean?
can
Good.
flex.
Yeah,
I should pay
you should be
less.
discounted.
Yes.
So they're
Use
actually
half a seatbelt.
So a couple things. First off, they're actually thinking of just removing all reclining seats from economy class in planes because it helps with cost. First off, the maintenance cost because these things are always prone to breaking. Secondly, there's actually a weight cost because of the mechanisms that quickly add up. And thirdly, there's a disruption cost because of things like this happening and them having to pay these people.
Well, it's a never-ending retarded conversation about you can now recline your seats, and then they walk up and down and police it. Now we're landing. You got to get the seat, but the seat's never reclined. On a Southwest flight, they recline 1.5 inches. So it's like lots of arguing, lots of waking people up who fell asleep on the flight to move their seat up 1.25 inches. I agree. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, well, so People Magazine saw this video and they interviewed a travel expert. I don't know what makes you a travel expert, but this travel expert weighed in on the etiquette. Says if their laptop is out or they have a drink on the table, now's not a great time to recline, and it wouldn't be okay to do so without giving the person behind you a heads up. And during meal times, definitely bring your seat back up if you've reclined it.
I think as long as everyone is reclined, then it's the same difference, and we're all
we have
all
to do it
fine.
in unison.
Sometimes if somebody is reclined in front of me and I'm trying to work on my laptop, I can't. It's too short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't type because it's too far
cramped.
into my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you recline your seat.
Yeah,
you
then
can
I
buy
can recline.
yourself
so
some room.
You're right.
I don't know. I say no reclining. Just get rid of it. Who we
Or
kidding?
You should play
permanently
Spirit
recline the seats.
Or have them all tilted back. But
Yeah.
then
Have them permanently reclined, yeah.
then it's some sort of safety thing about for the exit or something. I don't know. All I'm saying is flying is exquisitely cheap now. So we have people who formerly rode buses and donkeys on airplanes, and that's why you're seeing all this. These people, there's certain things where people will be sort of nice neighborhoods are nice because they're filled with people who can live in nice neighborhoods, and they tend not to be douchebags and litterers and let their dog shit everywhere. It's like a self-selecting group. Well, if you're going to get across country for $89, you're going to get a self-selecting group of bus folks on an airplane, and then we're fucked. This is what we're dealing with.
That's
Lots
true.
of white trash and hillbillies and God knows what on these airplanes.
Sure. All right, let's talk some college football here. So the Texas Southern University band was thrust into the spotlight over the weekend because there's a video that surfaced of one member getting into an altercation with a fan. So the person was playing, I believe, the tuba, and he was being heckled, and this is what happened.
Is there sound?
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just gets punched in the middle. He's heckling. I mean, you're heckling the marching band, a player in the band, in the middle of one of the songs.
Do we have sound? Or
No, there's no sound on this video.
That's weird.
I think that's his fingering hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he risked it all. He risked it all.
Yeah. I'm going to teach my son, don't get married to one hairdresser. Learn to masturbate standing up. Don't use lube. And you got to be able to throw a punch while handling a tuba.
Well, here's the thing.
You have to.
And
It's going to come up more than you think.
Is that the worst instrument to be holding while...
I fuck with piccolo players because they're usually diminutive Asian women. You know what I mean? The
takes certain
tuba
type.
guy, first off, tuba guy's big because you got to be able to hold an 80-pound instrument. So you have to be strong. You have to have a sturdy base, number one. Number two, tuba guys are time bombs. They've been called fat their whole life. They've been lugging around the one instrument that won't get them laid. And they're angry. And they got a lot of pent-up rage.
Yeah.
So they got a real short fuse. You know what I mean? Like if a guy's rocking an electric guitar, he's probably getting his dick sucked while you're bothering him.
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? That guy doesn't have a lot of sexual rage that's just hit a boiling point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So tuba guys have super short fuse. They didn't get laid in high school. They're not getting laid in college. They're playing at the Texas games, 110 degrees outside. They're wearing 70. First off, they're wearing 40 pounds of polyester, right? Like the outfit, those outfits do not breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That ain't a Tommy John t-shirt. It's layers and layers of polyester. Then you pack on a 80-pound tuba. I mean, we went to the game in Texas.
Yep.
It was 112 degrees outside, and these guys are in boots with spats, long sleeves, jackets, and full tuba.
And they marched there.
You're marching knees high.
Yeah.
You're at your limit. You don't
Right.
need some fucker coming around and tuning you up.
This guy will never live it down. This guy who got beat up.
Yeah.
Not only did you get beat up by a dude in the band, it's the tuba player.
It's the tuba player who actually went and just finished the song even. Just after the guy went down, went back to playing.
Punches you 3 times, gets back into. And the first punch, he didn't even know. He said the first punch, he didn't even notice it. The first punch, he goes, yeah, you suck. You don't know how to play that. Oh, for third punch.
Don't.
Yeah.
He hit him on the beat.
I also like.
He beat him on the beat.
Yep. Now, French horn, you don't mess with the French horn because you already got the fist shoved into the horn.
Okay.
Is that the French horn?
I think so.
Is that the French horn where they ball up their fist and shove it into the horn opening? I don't know who invented that
Trombone?
horn. No.
Well, you don't mess with a trombone player because
Trombone's got range. He'll jab you.
Oh, he'll just, punch you with the...
He'll jab you.
it's the range.
Yeah.
Trombone is the guy with the toilet plunger
Right.
at the end.
Okay.
French horn is fist in the horn. You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Toilet plunger's trumpet.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, French horn looks like an ampersand, right?
Yeah.
symbol?
And then you ball up your fist and you put it inside the horn.
So you're already in position.
You're already locked and loaded with that fist.
It's basically brass knuckles.
Yeah, I don't know if every French hornist puts the fist inside of the...
Find a person playing it, Byron.
That's what Chris is talking about. Yeah, so you don't fuck with tuba because they're big. They're the biggest guys in the band, and they're super angry. And they're overheating.
Yeah.
And they're sexually pent up. And then you don't fuck with the French horn guy because the French horn guy's already got a fist. Locked and loaded.
Oh, look at that.
And God knows, there could be a blackjack in that hand, a knife, brass knuckles. We don't know.
Anything. Yeah,
He
I don't
could
like
be robbing a bank in that thing.
Yeah,
That
we
is
don't know what's
concealed.
in there, but you're going to find out if you fuck with him. Always go piccolo. You go piccolo. That's what I do. I'm going to tell my son that.
Yeah, another life hack.
Yeah,
another
You're
life
going to mess
hack.
with the bands. It's the piccolo.
Go find the piccolo. It's the smallest, lightest person in the band.
Right.
And also, like this guy too, make sure you don't have. You got to have higher ground if you're getting in a fight in the stands. Like
You got to be in the next one up.
Yeah, everybody loses if they don't have the higher ground.
That's
At least
right.
From when I've seen people in stands fighting, which has been a lot lately, by the way, or maybe they're just being filmed more.
Well, it's a military thing too, you know. I mean, you don't walk into the valley.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's essentially every bad movie where the Taliban has the high ground. You're fucked when you go into the valley.
True.
Yeah.
Right?
This guy's just not expecting. Like, well, I wonder what it could have been. Like, what, he just doesn't like the song? Was this guy heckling him? What
Unclear.
happened?
Unclear.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that team?
Yeah, he's hitting himself though. So also in college football, so last week, Colorado coach Deion Sanders has announced that he would like the NCAA and the Rose Bowl to reimburse his players after thousands of dollars of jewelry was allegedly stolen from the visiting locker room during their game against UCLA. Did you see this?
Yeah. LA's turned into such a shithole that even jewelry isn't safe at the Rose Bowl.
Wow.
In the locker room.
And a lock, it's got the word lock right in it.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
these players looked really bummed out. There's like some videos of them.
Oh, they lost too, right?
Yeah, they did lose.
Oh,
The
man.
UCLA players' jewelry got stolen, or the
visiting team, Colorado, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So Deion Sanders is like, hey, they need the NCAA. You guys got to reimburse these players because they had some pretty expensive chains.
Well, then how do we verify it? Like, do you think they have receipts? They have photos?
No
but then
insurance.
there's a lot of probably costume shit, but people are going to claim those were real diamond studs, and then people
They're
don't know.
students, right? Like, are they going
Yeah.
to be iced out?
I think,
Well, they're high profile now. I mean, your coach is Deion Sanders.
yeah, he has like a crucifix that's worth $500,000 swinging around his neck.
Well.
I mean, coach.
Yeah.
Sanders does. So, Coach Prime.
Prime, yeah.
So, yeah, I wonder what the amount, because you're going to feel sorry. The public is going to side with the kids that got their jewelry stolen. But then when one of the 19-year-olds said, I had $277,000 worth of jewelry stolen, it's like, dude, you're a college student.
Right.
Like, I had my Scooby-Doo lunch pail stolen, and that was devastating enough. So now we're not going to feel sorry for you if you inflate the price.
Yeah, you got to be
an
realistic.
optics.
You got to, if you are, doing some dishonest stuff and taking money, then don't out yourself. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
I wonder who stole. Oh,
I know.
everyone who works there's got to be poor and stealing. I mean, and by the way, if kids are going to be traveling around with that kind of ice, then this is going to be a thing now.
Yeah,
I mean, Tom Brady couldn't even keep his jersey.
that's right.
There's nothing sacred or safe in a locker
And
room
that's
anymore.
serious
Pasadena.
heist.
Pasadena's not
No.
known for crime. Or
Yeah, but everyone who works at the Rose Bowl doesn't live in Pasadena.
Okay.
They're a little more South Central.
Oh, so inside
That's what
job,
I'm
yeah.
going. Oh, yeah.
So Speaker of the House, the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Mm-hmm. So ever since he's been in the news lately, there's a resurfaced clip from last year where he and his son admitted that they monitor each other's porn intake. Yeah, so Mike, remember, he's like,
I'm going to
oh,
tell my boy. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, well, remember, Mike, he's like, oh, everything you need to know about me is in the Bible, right? He's very old school, very traditional.
Right.
So he said that he installed a accountability software called Covenant Eyes on his devices in order to abstain from unsavory websites. And so this is the quote. It scans all the activity on your phone, on your devices, your laptop, what have you. We do all of it. and it sends a report to your accountability partner. My accountability partner right now is my son, Jack. He's 17. So he and I get a report about all the things that are on our phones, all our devices once a week. If anything objectionable comes up, your accountability partner gets an immediate notice. We both got a clean slate.
So what he's saying is everything that you need to know about him is in his search history.
Yeah, and his son has it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know everyone thinks everything is weird. Like, remember when, oh God, I'm trying to think of his name. I mean, Mike Pence. Mike Pence was like, I won't go to dinner with a woman alone. It has to be me and my wife and the woman or whatever. And at the time he said that, everyone went nuts. Like, oh, get the fuck out of here. Come on. But now, thinking back on it, like, everyone getting Me Too'd and accused of everything.
He hover-handed his dinners.
We have the clip of Mike Johnson here. All right.
Of it. And then it sends a report to your accountability partner. So my accountability partner right now is Jack, my son, right? And so he's 17.
Ironically
so he
named
and I get a report
Jack.
of all the things that are on our
that.
phones or all of our devices once a week. If anything objectionable comes up, your accountability partner gets an immediate notice. I'm proud to tell you my son he's got a clean slate, all right? Yeah. But we get a
Jack
report
goes
and
off.
it says, hey, no activity of concern, and it's really sensitive. It'll pick up almost anything. It looks for keywords, search terms, and also images, and it will send your accountability partner a blurred picture of the image. So on occasion I get one. I was just looking at the one from this week I got on Jack, and it said, This is the only one that may be questionable, and it's this blurred image of two women talking in a live screen thing, and I zoom in and I have to unblur it, and it's two middle-aged teachers of it.
Two middle-aged teachers. Yeah, go on.
I know.
Matures.
Scissoring.
Yeah.
Scissoring.
I bet, look, Jack's 17, so Jack's got to be borrowing his friend's phones
He has a burner.
lot,
Yeah.
right?
He's
He's definitely got
Jack.
a burner. And also, if I found out one of my friends had this covenant deal with their dad and they left the room and their phone was there, I'd be going to Milking and Poppin' and, Black and Busty. I'd hit my friends would definitely pull my phone and go to every disgusting website there is on the planet and then throw the phone back down.
It's kind of
so
weird.
Dad knew it.
It's kind of weird. Like your dad is your cuck.
Yeah.
I never used that word.
I'll tell you my take. I'm basically agnostic / atheist. Like, I'm not religious, but I'm also done making fun of everyone who has a plan. I really am. In this fucking world where you just turn on the TV and people are just beating the shit out of each other for no reason, and Hamas is beheading people and stuff. Call me. I'll take some boring shit. I'll take the religious guy. I'll take Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Who's traditional or religious or whatever. He doesn't. Fine. Make as much fun of it as you want. But he doesn't pose a threat. He's not out there littering. He's not tearing down statues. He's not looting a Walmart. He just has a relationship with his son.
You said this before. Mormons make the best neighbors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's where I'm at.
Clear branding.
Yes.
Very clear. Like he's not doing all this other stuff. Is that what you're saying? Right? He's not involved with all.
Well, it's basically like he's a square. Like what we would have said in the past is
boring.
He's boring and he's a square. But the alternative is what we're kind of living in, and I don't like it. I want
someone
the square.
twisted, man.
I don't want twisted. I want the squares.
It's president with a twist.
I want
Stealth.
my neighbor to be fucking Squaresville, USA, not the twist. That's all. Or twist it. That's what I'm saying. I want to get back to boring. All right. Let's see. Kilmeade's going to join us in a minute. So I think we should wrap this and give Eric some plugs
Watch
here.
his special.
Watch his special. You will be impressed. I guarantee you.
Probably my favorite opening of a special I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can watch it with your kids or whatever. Like, people aren't really sophisticated comedically. You might not watch it. A special with, you can watch this one because it's funny, it's visual, it's got something for everyone.